Recording in progress.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to our day 3 of this beautiful book, The Course in Miracles. Let's start this morning with a lot of gratitude and by revisiting what we did yesterday. And yesterday we had read chapter 5 to 12, and in that we have a few, just like a quick recap. So chapter 5 was all about rewiring ourselves by taking us from understanding a perspective where we say, I am never upset for the reason I think. We had talked about is that everything in our life is happening for a reason. And whatever we're thinking is not how it is. That's how we've been trained. So when we start tuning into ourselves and when we start saying that, okay, the reason I'm upset is not the reason that I think. So there we rewire ourselves. Chapter 6 took us to this beautiful power. Here I'm going to highlight it. I am upset because I see something that is not there. It's a part of our imagination जब हम राई का पहाड़ बना लेते हैं, where we think beyond something, when we think that okay, this is just too much, mistaken beliefs, identities, oh इसने ऐसा सोचा होगा, उसने ऐसा किया होगा, and that upsets us because we are overthinking. We're thinking of the bad guys, thinking of the evil things. And when you start coming in the world of love and light and you start trusting the process, then our mind is rewired. Chapter 7 was about, I'd like to share my take, like I see only the past. So here, the author Pam Grout made us go back in the past and think about that when we are living in the past, we are forgetting that this present moment is full of love, light, blessings, grace. And if I truly experience this moment, which is absolutely unique because time is forever changing, every second which is gone is never coming back. When we start tapping into the beautiful blessings of this moment, the world is going to change. So if we stop seeing the past and start concentrating on the present, we've all heard this, right? Past is a misery, future is a mystery, today is what it is because that is why it's called present. It's a present to ourselves. So are we present in this present? Are we taking the present from the universe, or are we just stuck in the past? Chapter 8 talks to us about my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Again, the same chatter is going on, and we were told that it's very, very important to have at least 3 or 4 periods of check-in. When we are doing our check-ins proactively, consciously, maybe before meal time or something, then we're going to help our course actually get implemented in our life. The Course of Miracles is something which is very practical, very easy. It's experiment which has come true many, many, many times. So if we start experimenting it, we start becoming better versions. Number 9 was about I see nothing as it is now. So don't get into being pressurized when people are trying to show you ये ऐसा है, ये ऐसा है, ये ऐसा है. Or the past, which is maybe a false self. Maybe we are playing on a completely different record. So we are told to change the tune, change our life, be willing to change and becoming a better version by stop seeing what may have happened by concentrating on the present once again. Chapter 10 was all about my thoughts do not mean anything. Our thoughts are all the time chatter all the time. So once we stop in this chatter world, once we stop going with whatever is happening and we start believing that okay, I am rewiring my life right here, right now. And this moment is full of potential, a lot can happen, then the change is going to be very, very, very evident. Chapter number 11 My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. It may sound कि अरे ये क्या है? I mean, हम भी इतनी उम्र से we've lived, we've come with so much experience. Yes, we have. Yes, there has been good. Yes, there has been bad. But if we're today in this course and if we actually want to retune ourselves, it's not like all the past experiences have become pointless. But at the moment, just at the moment, we are being guided to let go of the past and only be in the present. Because past is coming from one soundtrack, one track that we've been all visiting in our lives, and we have had issues, right? So if we are here to rewire ourselves, at least let's start capturing it. Another beautiful lesson here was, my thoughts create my reality. My thoughts determine the world I see. So right now, if I'm feeling very positive, very good, full of love, full of light, then what will happen? Everybody I see, everything I associate with is going to become better and good, because right now I'm feeling very happy. When you're very happy, your body is behaving very well, you're doing very well, everything is falling into place. Why? Because you're operating from a world of love, light, blessings, and you're letting go of the past by being in the present. That is the superpower that we were all taught about. And we were said very categorically in this chapter, in 3 practice periods at least, look around, repeat the lesson, trusting that while it may seem absurd, it has the power to break to pieces the indoctrination and programming that currently holds you hostage. Whatever programming has happened, हम उस जेल में फंस चुके हैं, right? So it's very important to remind ourselves that these simple lessons are enabling us to tune into an ongoing divine broadcast of love that wants to be known and expressed through you. It's a bedrock of who you are. It was a very, very, very beautiful chapter, and we must implement this for sure. Number 12 was something very, very simple. It says, if only we want to rewire ourselves, first rewiring has to happen from within, the inner life. So it also talked to us very strongly about how each one of us has the potential to rewire our lives. And here in the beginning is this chapter lesson. I get whatever I focus upon. So just to add to the chapter here, just think of yourself when you're feeling that, oh, things aren't going right. How does it go, the day go about? Nothing seems to go right. And then you say, आज का दिन तो पता नहीं कैसा था, किस तरफ से उठी हूँ. Nothing is going right. Why? Because that is where your focus is, unknowingly. You have given a meaningless thought, an idea to your day, to that one episode, and then everything went in line. So that is the reason we are being told to focus on the good, to focus on the potential, the blessings, because that is absolutely beautiful. Now, today we start our day 3 with chapter number 13. Paper, plastic, or the teeming dazzle of life, its own self. A Course in Miracles says, withdraw your faith in distortions and invest in only what is true. So now somebody may say, how do we know the world is distorted? How do I know I was distorted? How do I know what is true? So simply trust the process. Let this book guide us chapter by chapter, page by page, and just implement in our life. I have a request to everybody. Day 1 we talked about surrendering and we talked about our goal setting. We let go and we also invited things in our life. The intention why we are doing the Course in Miracles. We want to change something in our life. So we are rewiring ourselves. And then we talked about the potential of how it's going to be. We talked about the first 4 chapters. We revisited them yesterday morning. And then we did chapter number 5 to chapter number 12 yesterday. So it's very important that we write these brief notes for ourselves. If some of you are good in note taking and you want to help your Sangha Mitras, your co-seekers, please come up with 1 page of notes simply in like a bullet point so that everybody can share. Of course, if you're not up to it, I'm happy to do it. But when one of us shares, we're expanding our own world and we're revisiting that session. It doesn't take very long to do this because this book is very, very, very simple. So let's read this chapter. A couple of years ago, I was invited on a cruise to Bermuda with 3 sexy chefs from the Bravo show Top Chef. There were private cooking classes, quick fire challenges, and meet and greets with bad boy celebrity chefs Ash Falk, Angelo Sosa, and Spike Mendelsohn. While this travel writing assignment certainly illustrates how miracles started rapping on my door, when I began giving up meaningless ideas, my point is the cardboard cutouts. When I first arrived on the ship, I took a selfie with the cardboard cutout of the 3 guests of honor. The purpose of ASIM's first 5 lessons to notice that everything my eyes show me is a cardboard cutout. So what is ASIM? A Course in Miracles. And the first 50 sessions are just, lessons are just about that we start noticing that whatever our life has shown us is just a concept. It's a picture of the past frozen in time, serving as a stand-in for the real thing. Now, isn't this so profound? हमें एक मेटाफोरिक एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है कि कार्डबोर्ड कटआउट की तरह कोई मीनिंग नहीं है उसमें, there's nothing, there's no 3 dimension, बस वो फ्रीज करा हुआ है एंड वो स्टैंड कर रहा है रियल लाइफ की जगह पे. So once I decide life is a certain way, the cardboard cutouts is all I can see. My crafty brain literally reconstructs an empty shell, a caricature of the teeming life that exists in every now moment. I can't really see the people, the events, my own backyard, not as they are now, 3 or 4 times today. 3 or 4 times today, I stop and notice that I am looking at a cardboard cutout of my story. And I remind myself that as long as I do, the invisible grace and never-ending abundance remain invisible. Again, very important to reread this and understand. हमारी लाइफ में जो भी लोग आए हैं, जो भी इवेंट्स हुए हैं, जो भी हमारे घर में हमारी लाइफ में हुआ है, they happened at that time with that consciousness. But today, if I do my period check-ins, then what do? I stop. I notice that I am looking at something stagnant, cut out की तरह, बस वो है. And जब तक मैं उस स्टोरी के साथ चलती रहूँगी, nothing is going to change in my life. जब तक उसके साथ चलती रहूँगी, the invisible grace and never-ending abundance remain invisible. So if we want to see the grace, the abundance that's coming our way, इतनी blessings, इतना love, इतनी light, इतनी abundance है हमारी life में, लेकिन वो कहाँ रहती है? बैक में, बिकॉज हमारी स्टोरी चलती रहती है हमारी लाइफ में. सुबह उठे, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना है. Some of us meditate and we just be in the moment. We stay in samta, we stay in equanimity. Some of us do yoga, some of us are into Gita, some of us are understanding life, some of us are just letting be and breathing and just being where we are. But most of us are busy in this rat race of such so-called a daily ritual. So if we include in our life that, okay, I have to clear all the backlog that I have lived my whatever years. I'm almost 48, so I'll talk about me. And I'm going to clear the 48 years of my conditioning and I'm going to start afresh. There's always abundance, there's always love, light, and there's always blessing. And things start falling in place. So Pam Grout says, I'm happy to report that later during the said course, the cruise, I was able to take a selfie with the real deal, the flesh and blood chefs themselves. And let me just say, because whatever happens on a Top Chef cruise stays on a Top Chef cruise. The cardboard cutout paled in comparison. So isn't that beautiful? This is also a window into seeing that if you have made a vision board for yourself, Here, Pam Grout clicked a picture, a selfie with the cutouts, and she was able to make that into a real thing by being there on the cruise, by being in the present moment, by letting go of her conditioning. Chapter number 14. Make it fun, make it yours. Che Guevara says, when it comes to revolution, we need big doses of passion and audacity. A Course in Miracles is like anything. You make it what you want it to be. My guiding philosophy. If it is not fun, it's not sustainable. So I can be bothered by the language, yes. Lesson 14 uses the controversial G word. Or I can appreciate it for the rebellious and revolutionary program as it is. I can notice the part about ditching my own personal house of horrors, the line about moving towards perfect safety and perfect peace. Tom Hessai, the CEO of Zappos, is a poster boy for making perceived unfun things fun. In fact, he walked away from the first company he built. He was 27. It was worth $265 million because it didn't bring joy. Very few of us have the guts to move away from something which is not joyful. We feel there's fear. अरे अगर ये बिजनेस छोड़ दिया, ये काम छोड़ दिया, अभी इनकम आ रही है, व्हाट अगर नहीं आएगी तो fear, right? Conditioning कि लोगों ने प्लान बी नहीं बनाया और सीधा मूव कर गए. बट जब लाइफ में एक प्लान बी होता है, प्लान ए सक्सीड उतना नहीं होता. वी शुड ऑल नो इट. सो फोकस ऑन वॉट यू वॉन्ट. एंड दिस प्लान बी, सी, डी, they will all just fade away. And that plan A should be something which you are passionate about, something which you think is fun, something which brings you joy. Have you heard of people who say that, I do what I do because I love it, and what better, it brings me money. I'm paid for something that I love doing. Such people become so successful, they become names and they have so much of fame. Why? Because they're just following and flowing in love, light, passion, joy, happiness. They are not giving to the conventional standards. इससे ये नहीं होता, इससे ये नहीं होता. If something is exciting for you as a project, as a idea, go have the gut to implement it. Follow your gut. Just do it. Stop thinking, क्या होगा at the most. At the most, you can't go back to the job because they think that, okay, there's a company policy that once you're out, you will never be given a second time. I had gone to this EO learning session in this company called Motherson, and there the gentleman says, one life, one time. They talked about that in Motherson people don't leave, because if they leave, and everything there is so happy, and people don't leave at all. So I'm coming to the point that, do we have the guts to leave it if life is not fun? So why did Zappo leave his such a flourishing company, and he was just such a young person? Zappos, which is built on weirdness, creativity, being adventurous, and doing whatever it takes to give love. In corporate speak, love equals customer service, but take it from me, it's love, pure and simple. Such a profound learning. Do what you believe in, do what makes you happy, do what is fun. And all of us have forgotten the fun element in our lives. We made life so seriously. We live life so, Nitya Shanti, one of my teachers, he says, acute ways how we live, them extreme. We forgot that there's cute element also in life. So please make learning joyful, fun, and live your life in a joyful, fun way. Back to the course. Like the course, Tony eschews perfection. Jump in fast, make mistakes, it's all okay. Abhi, how many of us have guts to just follow our gut instinct and just go for it? Ki, Arey, I'm all in. There's nothing I'm holding back. I'm all in. Hoga jo dikha jayega. So obviously, there are insecurities. Maybe you have families to look after. Maybe you're answerable to somebody. I can't be so irrational. So okay, then think about how you can make it rational by adding the love light and adding your gut feeling, and by still having that safe cushioning. Like the course, Tony eschews perfection, jump in fast, make mistakes, it's all okay, and old paradigms. On a dare, he named his venture capital Firm Venture Frogs. Who does that? And every day he does something outside the business room, like dye his hair red or wear a mohawk. Now, of course, he's extremist, but that's what he's enjoying in life. He lives in an airstream, spends most of his non working time outdoors, says he has the world's largest front porch, and knows without a doubt that if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. So, if a guy who doesn't even like shoes, he owns 3 pairs, can turn $1 billion online shoe company into rocking good time, a tour of their Las Vegas headquarters is better than a self help seminar. I'm thinking we can transform this wordy blue book into weird, boisterous, meaningful fun. So today, I'm going to whoop and holler and recognize that anything that disturbs me, anything that isn't out and out gorgeous or doesn't ooze with big ass fun is an illusion. I concoct it. And poof, I have the power to make it disappear. Sometimes I even ask politely. So here, just going beyond the chapter, beyond the Course in Miracles, we are talking about surrendering, right? In the first day, that's what we talked about. So if we have been given the power to make what we don't like disappear, have we ever bothered to ask that phenomena, that thing, that okay, you're not serving me anymore, can you please disappear? So what's going to happen? Whatever is not interesting for you is going to poof, fade out, and what you're falling in love with, or what you're already in love with, or what brings you joy, and if you're living in the moment of love, light, blessings, grace, and abundance, and all of that will start coming in. The pictures will start falling in place because you're tapping into your consciousness by saying, I'm going to do something which makes my life very happy, which makes me very happy. Lesson number 15. The ultimate billboard. Josh Radnor says, I began to have this gnawing suspicion that this voice in my head, while presenting itself as my trusted ally, might actually be the enemy. How many of you resonate with this? Chitter chatter all the time that's going on. Is it holding you back or is it propelling you forward? So many of us get confused. There's something called a higher self, a higher consciousness talking to us, which is also sixth sense, which channels information, guides us. The first thought that comes is how it is, and then there's one which is pulling you back. In the Catholic culture, in the Christianity world, they talk about a devil and an angel. So the angel is kind of, you can relate it to a higher self, a higher consciousness, and the devil is in all the details. Yeah. So how do we cut that out? By simply being in the present and just saying, poof, let it go. I let it go. We don't let the stories expand. Since yesterday, I'm being, guided towards power. What is the power? Today, 10 of you are, hounding me. You've done this, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this. If I react, if I cry, if I tell them, मैंने तो ये नहीं किया, which I want to do because my chatter is telling me, अरे तुमने तो कुछ wrong किया नहीं, they should know ना, but वो मुझे opportunity दे रहे, वो बस बोले जा रहे. And if I can just tell myself, have I done it? That they're telling me, have I done it? And if my consciousness says, no, I haven't, and I stop expanding on it, then there will come a time when I will stop reacting and I will take the power away from all 10 of them who are pouncing and bombarding me with all negatives. That is their consciousness. That is their story. It's not mine. If I don't own their story and their allegations, then I've rendered them powerless. So it's very important to get tuned within ourselves. When you start realizing this voice in our head is actually holding me down, ये करो, रिटेलिएट करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, अपना स्टांस क्लियर करो. There's no harm in clarity, but अगर opportunity नहीं मिल रही है, let it rest. Time will come, the chapter will turn, situation will turn, and things will be better. So as Pam Raut says, at the end of interviews, I'm often asked, if you could leave our listeners with one final piece of wisdom, what would it be? In other words, what would I emblazon if I had a personal billboard? I often hem and how. Me, wisdom, or I run through the gazillion lessons I picked up along my path to peace. Chief amongst them is pull myself back up when I land near daily flat on my face. Haven't we all done that? In life, we've fallen. And क्या हम गिरे पड़े रहते हैं? नहीं. We pick ourselves up again. Sometimes with somebody's help, sometimes just with our own strength. And we again start walking. Because we've fallen down, because we're repeating a pattern, we haven't learned the lesson. So my Vedanta teacher, my guru, he always says, knocks and shocks of life come to teach you a lesson. If you haven't understood the lesson and taken the teachings forward, again the knocks and shocks of life will come back to teach you a lesson. Again the situation will come. मेरे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है बार बार? But when you stop and change from that bar, okay, what have you come to teach me? What is the lesson I'm to learn? Then you will move forward. Pam Raut says, nothing could be more vital than be suspicious of the voice in my head. This inner critic, task maker is loud, it's non-stop, and it does not, I repeat, it does not have my best interests at heart. This demonic voice that insists on running the show is terrified because it knows it's an imposter, it knows its time is limited, it knows that if and when I take my attention off its whiny complaining voice, I will discover the other occupant in my head. The other voice is a lot gentler, more patient, and it points towards the intangible, immeasurable, fundamentally spiritual things that defy every obnoxious missive the loud mouth has been shouting in my ear from the time I noticed I was encased in a body. जिस दिन हम उस चाटर को क्वाइट कर देंगे कि बस go out, and we realize, and for this let me just remind everybody, Mother Nature is the biggest healer. She's there to give us so much. So if we start tapping the energy of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, by going out in her, maybe you have a balcony, maybe you have a garden, maybe you have a forest close by where you can walk. In Delhi there's something called a Jahapana forest in GK2. If you just walk there, and there's so many parks that if you just go there, spend some time there, maybe sit on the grass, maybe on a bench, maybe somewhere where there's Mother Earth, and you start talking to Mother Earth and saying, I let go of this and I invite this, then a lot of more magics will happen. It's like expedites the journey. So this voice, which is gentler, is beautiful, is going to guide you towards the spiritually heightened things. Everything is spiritual in nature, by the way. People say, oh, I'm spiritual. We all are spiritual. Why? We all have spirit inside us, the Atma. So if we follow the definitive course of it, things are going to be nice. Things are going to be beautiful. So beginning to recognize that critical nagging voice is not me, is the starting gate for my spiritual path. This is a very deep, important line. Please underline it. Please write it down. Beginning to recognize that the critical nagging voice is not me, is the starting gate of my spiritual path. Lesson 15 is about my thoughts are images that I have made. It is a recognition that there is something bigger and unseen going on. 3 times a day. I stop and notice that this puzzle, this cereal bowl, this spoon are all images I have made. I can't guarantee the obnoxious voice will eventually shut up. It probably won't, But as I recognize it's just making stuff up, I can call it out. I can say, oh really? I'm going to get onto an insufferable megaphone. I just shut off. वो मेगाफोन का वो जिक बॉक्स का आवाज़ म्यूट कर दूँ तो धीरे धीरे आवाज़ आनी बंद हो जाएगी. Chapter number 16. Like a room without a roof. Helen Mirren says, my whole life has been an effort to find freedom. Freedom from myself, freedom from my own fears. And that's all of us have. We want a fearless life. We want to let go of a part which is pulling us down, right? So as a journalist, I was taught that the opening paragraph of any story is my big chance to catch a reader's attention. Tell them who, what, where, when and how, right up front. A Course in Miracles doesn't do that. It tills the soil, prepares me slowly for the insanely radical notion that I am not so much observing reality as I am creating it. I get my people scoff. It's my exact opposite of every single lesson on planet Earth. To suggest the world is not independent of my thoughts is alarming. And how could it possibly be true that the majority of my thoughts are meaningless? That sounds preposterous. So I'll try to explain. Any thoughts that fall into one of the following categories is basically meaningless. I am separate and I am all alone. I am limited to this body. If I can't see it with my eyes, it doesn't exist. So we have 3 period check-ins every day with, if you want the Course in Miracles to truly bring miracles, abundance and so much more in our life. If we can tell ourselves these 3 points, कि whatever is coming in this periphery is actually untrue, it's meaningless. हमने बहुत बार सुना ना, मैं अकेली आई थी अकेली जाऊंगी. Yes, okay. Now that paradigms to that. मैं अकेली आई थी, but I came because of a reason. I came because 2 people got together, and I did get an extended family, and even I have a soul family. So why do I say this? Why do I believe this? Can I clear this off and just move it off? Of course, people who want to debate can debate, but this book tells us very categorically A Course in Miracles is going to bring miracles to the people who just listen to this blindly, because it's an experiment which has been true. इस body की limitation से ही मैं हूँ जो हूँ. Have you seen maybe YouTube videos or people or images, or have heard that there are masters who just are up in the sky? There's nothing below. They're just floating up in the sky. Is it to do with limitation with this body? When you feel light, when you feel equanimous with everything, your energies are light and you're just floating. And the third thing is, if I can't see it with my eyes, it doesn't exist. So can we see love? Can we see abundance? Can we see grace, blessings? Can we see Bhagwan Ji with your eyes? Yeah, you can say, okay, murti hai. Yeah, you know, my dog loves me, or my child loves me, or my parents love me. I can see the love. Can you see the love, or can you feel the love? So जो बोलते ना आँखों देखी नहीं है तो नहीं है. Again, these are sayings which exist. And why we are here this morning in the Course of Miracles is because we want to unlearn what we have been taught. Every thought that fails into one of these 3 categories is meaningless, or rather it's simply not true. It only appears that way because I secretly or not so secretly put my attention there. The first few lessons of the Course serve as a giant eraser to gently remove all meaningless thoughts. So, you know, if you are somebody who visualizes, think of life as a blackboard or a green board, whatever you believe in. And that typical duster जो पहले आता था, and keep erasing. वो chalk marks दिखेंगे थोड़े time तक. जब erase करते रहोगे, the blackboard will come to its, or the green board will come to its original purity of being a clean slate. And that is when this life is going to change. The first 50 sessions are about clearing our old beliefs. Today we are only on 16th lesson, right? Another 2-3 days we should have cleared our. रोज सुन के कहीं ना कहीं दिमाग में फिर हो जाएगा कि oh, if I have to be free, if I have to reinvent myself, I have to clear my old baggage. ये जो हमने बड़ा सा बैग पहना हुआ है ना, shoulders, which is making our shoulders go down, we have to drop that baggage. The first few lessons of the course serve as giant eraser to gently remove all meaningless thoughts, to create space for things that actually are true. Things like ease, grace, being connected to an intensely alive energy field, knowing my purpose is to illuminate dark places. Isn't that beautiful? And one thing more, जो कुछ easily आता है is coming because it's aligned with love and light. जो चीज़ आसानी से नहीं मिलती is actually not coming from love and light. We have been conditioned, बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है तो जाकर चीज़ें में success मिलती है. So if you can declutter our brain, a lot of magics are going to happen. Lesson number 16. I have no neural thoughts. Dispels the belief that my thoughts have no effect. It goes so far as to say there is no exception to this fact. My every thought either furthers the illusion, the meaningless, or it furthers the truth that rather than face reality, I actually create reality. So please let's discard all the illusions, the meaningless clutter, the chatter which is happening, and let's remind ourselves, let's face reality, let's create a life which is beautiful, magical, and I can create the reality that I really believe in. Chapter number 17, lesson number 17. Change your story, change your life. A lot of authors have written something similar in their books captions also. The narrative, the story that we are replaying again and again and again in our life, अगर उसको हम लोग कर दे कि okay, हो गया, done it enough, now a new story I'm going to write. I am the editor, I am the author, I am the writer, I am going to write the story of my life. Pere Teilhard de Chardin says, the universe as we know, it is a joint product of the observer and the observed. Several years ago, People magazine sent me to interview the runners-up on the reality show The Bachelor. The assignment was to find out if reality shows truly depict reality. Although we reporters are taught to be objective and simply report facts, I'm savvy enough to know that reality, like beauty, is in the mind of the beholder. The Bachelorette I interviewed was very clear that reality shows are anything but true. Early on, she was cast by producers as a certain character, a particularly personality type, namely the partier, and then everything that fit the storyline was shown on TV, and everything that didn't was left on cutting room floor. Even though we may not be television producers, we all edit our life experiences to fit the stories we make up. If our storyline is that our boss is a jerk, for example, everything that furthers that plot goes straight to the active part of our brain. Isn't that right? Somebody is showing us glass half empty. And then you start concentrating, ye bhi nahi, 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 ye bhi nahi. On the other hand, there's somebody who's showing the glass half full. Ye bhi hai, 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 ye bhi hai. Whatever we are focusing on is what we're expanding. If we want our life story to change, then the story must change to change the life that we are going to manifest by rebooting, rewiring, reconditioning, reprogramming our mindset. So if our story is that our significant other is lazy, everything that vibes with the scenario is registered and magnified. Some of us reiterate again and again, I'm lazy, I'm not disciplined, मुझसे कुछ होता नहीं है, मैं शुरू करती हूँ फिर छोड़ देती हूँ. Yeah, more power to your story. But if you want to change that, the story, you want to change your life, then you say, whatever I start, I complete. I take so many lessons out of it. I emerge a better version of myself, and things start falling in place. More power to this story. What story do you want to write in your life for yourself? Is you are the creator. If people tell me, तुम निकम्मे हो, तुम ये नहीं कर सकते, तुम वो नहीं कर सकते, okay, पहली बात तो think about it कि what they are saying, is it true? कुछ iota truth है उसमें. अगर वो बोल रहे तो कुछ तो बोल रहे होंगे. Do I have to own up the entire निकम्मा word or learn from it and say, okay, that's the story I've been living, or from fear कि मैं ये ऐसा करूँगा या करूँगी तो ऐसा होगा, या मैं नहीं करता हूँ, क्यों नहीं करता हूँ, डर लगता है मुझे, इतना मुश्किल तो नहीं है, बट क्यों डरता हूँ मैं? कैन आई क्लियर दिस? कैन आई हैव अ ओपन कॉन्वर्जेशन विद द पीपल इन माई फैमिली कि आई एम प्लंजिंग इन टू दिस, I may be a complete failure, I may be a great success. Do you support me? At the most, maybe to change your story, to change your life, you may take a support system from your loved ones. What is the harm? But am I ready to do something which brings me joy? Pehli baat to, whatever we want to change the narrative, does it bring me love, light, joy? If it does, then the second conversation goes ahead. But if that is something which is like a money making racket, or like, money, then it's not something which is going to really benefit. Again, I quote my teacher, he says, लक्ष्य बांध लो तो लक्ष्मी जी ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाती है, बट लक्ष्य कहाँ बांधा है? Yeah, something which makes us happy, something which gives us joy. We literally can't see them. The gazillion good things our boss and our partners do get left on the cutting room floor is what that lady talked about. We can't see, जो cut out हो गया, we can't see. Similarly, if we believe life is hard or that money is difficult to come by, we find evidence to further that storyline in our lives. Again, I'm quoting this Madhusan because I've just called with the factory visit a couple of days ago. That company, every 5 years in their annual report, write what their next goal is going to be. अगर आज $1 billion का उनका turnover है, तो 5 साल के बाद $5 बिलियन का गोल लिख देते हैं वो अपनी किताब में. वो कह रहे थे लोग हंसते हैं स्टॉक मार्केट में कि आप कैसे हो, मतलब क्या कर रहे हो. एंड दैट कंपनी इन द लास्ट 50 years, every 5 years they've gone 5 times. 2020 से 2025 जो कोविड था, पीक टाइम था एंड चीज़ें नीचे आ रही थी, दे हैव हैड द मैक्सिमम ग्रोथ फ्रॉम $20 billion to $108 billion. Why? Why? Because his concept is मनी बनाने की इच्छा हो तो बहुत साधन निकल जाते हैं, इतना क्या सोचना है. That gentleman is not even an engineer, but he's got the biggest engineering company in the world. Every car, every automobile, everything has a Motherson product in that, in the world, imagine. So, if you think life is hard, yes it is. If you think it's difficult to make money, yes it is. If you think it's easy to make money, it is. Why? Why is it easy? Think of that one thing, kabhi bhi life mein, that you have done where you've made money easily. It's because somehow you believed in it, because it brought happiness to you. Then it wasn't a task, then you were loving it. It was some money, energy was coming. So lesson number 17. I see no neural things is an important step in identifying cause and effect as it operates in the world. It's a spiritual law as reliable as gravity. I've magnetized, read this again, I've magnetized into my life whatever my non-neural thoughts focus upon. So here's a routine. We write to ourselves, for ourselves. I do not see a neural, whatever thought that is, because my thoughts about this are not neural. 3 times a day, I'm asked to look about and recognize that I am seeing nothing that is neural. Simple English, simple following. मैं ये नहीं देख पा रही क्योंकि मेरी thoughts इसको नहीं देख पा रही. I do not see a neural, do not see a neutral dash because my thoughts about this are not neutral. What is neutral? Balance दो, neutrality बना के रखो, संयम बना के रखो, समता बना के रखो, equanimity बना के रखो. So अगर हम न्यूट्रल पाथवे में चीज़ें नहीं देख पा रहे, क्योंकि हम नहीं देख पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक पर्दा सामने है. So if I have to look and recognize that what I'm seeing is not neutral, then things are going to change. The story is going to change. Chapter number 18. We'll do probably till 19 today. We are all in this together. Mark Wahlberg says it is all about love and how we all are connected. In 2018, Ellen Pompeo says you probably know her as Meredith Grey on Grey's Anatomy because the highest paid actress on the television drama. That's how she is. She walked away from contract negotiations with a cool $575,000 per episode. Not bad for a kid from blue collar Boston whose mom died of an overdose when she was just about 5 years old. It also represents lesson 18. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my scene. In an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, Pompeo says that she became empowered by watching Shonda Rhimes, the creator of Grey's Anatomy. As Shonda grew into her own power, as she shook off the shackles of the old paradigm of not being worthy, of not being paid as well as her male counterparts, Ellen was able to do it too. And that's just the starting line for not being alone in the effects of my perception. हम सब एक दुविधा में घिरे हुए हैं. ये ऐसे नहीं होता, ये ऐसे नहीं होता. Patriarchy है society में. Women have to shatter the glass ceiling. It doesn't come very easy. You know, my peers get promotion. I'm working more hard. These are the stories we tell ourselves. If we start saying that, okay, whatever I'm feeling, I'm not the only one experiencing this. I'm not alone in this journey. There are many, many of us. And in this morning collective energy that we all are here, it's very important to understand that we are in this together. And there will come a day in time, whenever that is meant to be, that we will all be sharing in the same session after the meditation and what breakthroughs or what paradigm shifts we've had. And that for me would be the biggest takeaway, because this experiment is then working, it's an action. So I'm looking forward for that, right? Whether aware of it or not, I am concerned. I'm concerned about what is happening in my life. Is that resonating with you? अगर हमको लाइफ को रिक्रिएट करना है, रिवायर करना है, ब्रेन को रीप्रोग्राम करना है, so I am aware that, okay, I'm in the world of love, light and abundance. And there is this beautiful world around me which is giving me so much. So जब हम देख रहे हैं कि this actress has broken the glass ceiling, what is next happening? It says, and that's just a starting line for not being alone in the effects of my perception. In fact, the majority of my interactions with others occur in the non-physical realm. All those thoughts I think I'm privately keeping to myself, they're not really private. I might as well below them over an intercom. Subtly, everyone is going to get the message anyway. Telepathy suna hai na? That's happening between two people, right? But morning में जो हम sessions कर रहे हैं, it's a mass effect. If all of us are looking at rewiring ourselves, this message is going to help so many people, because our actions are going to show in the work that we do with all the people that we meet, and it's going to be a ripple effect. वो चाहे connection में है कि नहीं session के साथ, your energy is changing, their energy is changing, their is changing, then others' future are changing. So whether aware of it or not, I am connected to this giant database, and I'm constantly exchanging energy, not only with those in my inner circle, but with every being on the planet. Now that is so powerful, so powerful. Today, in 3 or 4 quick practice periods, I'm asked to look around, pick a couple of random subjects and say, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see this. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see that. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see this. For example, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see the African mask, those sunglasses, that water bottle. Other people are also seeing it. How I see these things affects how others see them. Maybe not a terribly useful concept when it comes to water bottles, but think how pertinent and healing to change how I see, say, a serial killer or a ruthless dictator, or for that matter, the creepy Facebook commenter who asked me a full-fledged idiot and new age fraud. So very important to revisit ourselves. chapter 19, and then chapter 20 we'll do tomorrow. The traffic cop inside your brain. Grace Bell says, I love swimming in the great question of what is real, true, what's happening here in this thing called life. So there's one more reality sand trap from which we need to escape. For years we've known our brain produces thoughts. It's only partially true. Research in neuroplasticity shows our brains are constantly being rewired with new pathways forming and other failing dormant. At birth, our neurons have some 7,500 connections. Slowly over time, these connections get pruned away and discarded. So technically, it's our thought or our belief that create our brains. And because our brains, like cranky old uncles, do not like to be wrong, they literally make stuff up. They construct reality to fit our beliefs, creating patterns and filling in blanks to reflect our dominant ideas, wishes, and emotions. They even dump chemicals. Our brain contains the equivalent analogues of all the naughty Schedule 2 substances, opioids, cannabinoids, and the hallucinogens, etc., to match our beliefs. Some studies even suggest that all drugs are placebos, meaning they work when we think they will. A Course in Miracles says, well done. Our brains are such talented forgers, weaving a detailed and compelling tapestry of perception, and it never occurs to us to question the reality they manufacture. Storytelling में तो our brains are माहिर, कुछ belief करवाना और brains are माहिर. हाँ ये है ना, correct. Whatever you feed, you're expanding. Lesson 19 is very profound. It asks us to question everything. बच्चे को देखा है ना जो नया बोलना शुरू करता है, जिज्ञासा, इंट्रीग, ये क्या है, ये क्यों है. Questioning. So today's chapter is a lesson that we have to learn, which is about questioning everything. 3 times today we've been asked to stop and remember cause and effect are never separate. And since we now know that our brains play trick, altering our neurochemistry and translating our personal HTML into vibrations and pictures that we mistake for reality, we plead for help. We sincerely ask that all lines of leftover, outmoded, no longer working code be eliminated until we see nothing but our new miracle plan. So more power to everybody. May we have a world of love, light, abundance. And yes, I've tried to play with the music, and Harshita, you guided me. So just tell me if you can hear the music today. If we can't, we'll still go with the flow. Can you hear? Lovely. Day 3, the day of miracles. Lovely. Alright, so let's close our eyes. Get comfortable in our posture. Straighten our backs. Supported is fine, but straight back is a great idea for energy to flow. We're going to breathe thrice deeply and with awareness. Take a deep breath in and fill your stomachs with love, light, hope, and abundance. And as the stomach is expanding, gently start releasing it and delete sadness, being stuck, dark, and all the negatives that no longer serve us, and breathe them out. Simply by deflating your stomach very gradually. Once more, take a deep breath in. I invoke in me hope, light, truth, magics. And I release people who criticize me, non-belief, whatever has not worked till now, into the universe, once and for all, never to be found again. The third time for this morning, being aware, I fill my body with gratitude with new beginnings, with conviction that I am here to make a difference. I grow abundantly. I manifest things beautifully. I am in the world of love and light and blessings and abundance. And I release all that was holding me back. I release all the chitter chatter that was happening in the stories that I heard. And I let go of all that was pulling me down, because I am now rising brightly and beautifully. And now, just go back to that memory where life was at its prime. You were the happiest version of yourself. How did that come about? Think of the story. Were you flowing in a state of love, light? Were you doing something that you definitely love and like? Was that your superpower? See the reactions of people around you in the past. How they were complimenting you. How you felt. How it made you so grateful, so happy. It was you who created that. It is you who rewire your brains again today and for the days to come by decluttering your beautiful space in your body. When there's clutter around, there's clutter within. So let's remove the clutter within to remove the clutter around. I let go of all my limitations. I become a human being with substance. Abundance is my birthright. Wherever I flow with love, light, joy, I only find opportunities, wealth, and happiness. I do everything with a lot of conviction, with a lot of belief, with a lot of truth, and most importantly, with a lot of honesty. No actions of mine deplete anybody. I am honest to what I do because I flow in love and light. And when I flow in that, nobody can feel cheated. I'm a giver, but I'm also a receiver. There's equanimity here too. The more I give, the more I get. I have this magical power in me to remove all things, stories, concepts, beliefs that no longer serve me. There were stories that the chatter, the clutter, the other mind made up. Because I'm a great storyteller. And now I have the power to clear off those stories. I have the power to create a new story. To create a life full of magics. I am so powerful, so beautiful, so blessed, so loved, so liked, because I flow in my true state of love and light. I invoke from the universe the power to let go of all that is unnecessary, to make me clearer, lighter, and more beautiful, for magics to appear and stay forever. I invoke for the light energy and I release the excess weight, the physical body weight that I'm holding. I release the pains, the discomfort the physical body is holding, because a healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and a healthy mind leads to a healthy body. So I release all the excess grey matter which has darkened my energy. I release the excess emotions I was holding. It's alright to let go. Imagine yourself sitting next to a river and your body is releasing all the excess dark energy. It could seem like a black stream of something flowing out of your body, or some heavy dense matter going out of your body like a rock. Whatever it is, just let it go in the mother river. Let the flow of water take the excess baggage away, because Mother Water is here to heal us. Feel the light in your body, the lightness in your body. Feel the love in your body. Always honor yourself, your thoughts, your words. When you're honest, life will flow for you. This flow of water will be in the right direction, propelling you to the highest cause, because you are a person who's been firm on his or her word. Honesty, truth, compassion, empathy, love, light, gratitude, blessings, grace, abundance are my birthright. I claim them right here, right now. And in the process, I let go of what no longer serves me. I am grateful. I am blessed. I am joyful. I'm happy. So be it. So it is. So it is. So it is. Now let's fold our hands and be grateful for this beautiful morning of learning lessons that are helping us becoming a new me. So much of love, so much of light for Pam Grout, for helping us rewire our brains and hence our lives. Let's rub our hands together, feel the energy, the heat, the blessings, and shower your entire being with these blessings. First with your eyes, your forehead, your face, your head, your ears, your neck. Massage your body, feel it, touch it, shoulders, your arms, front and back, your chest, going down to your stomach, your torso, your legs, till down, your feet, your ankle. Turn your hands on the backside, bless the behind part of your legs, your hips, your lower back, middle back, upper back, and back again. And gently open your eyes and be grateful and blessed. So much of love, light, and blessings to everybody. May this beautiful journey of creating our lives, making it magical, this Course in Miracles unfold. Love, light, and blessings. So much love, so much light. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. I'm going to see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And let's hope to create these miracles in our life by rewiring ourselves. So thank you very much. And I'll see you in the gap. Thank you.